Hey, this weekend we celebrate Independence Day, a day set aside to honor the freedom we have here in the United States of America. And so I wanted to wear my flag shirt. And I hope this being a shirt doesn't offend anyone. It's not my intent. I wear it because I love our country. Now, to be sure, I'm not proposing that we worship our country or our flag or even our freedom. We worship Jesus and we live as citizens of His kingdom. But we should honor and appreciate the freedom that we enjoy in our country, and I hope that you do. And I also want to make sure that you know that celebrating our freedom doesn't mean that anyone thinks we always get it right. With what's going on in our nation right now, it's obvious that not only do we need to figure some things out, we need to figure out how to figure it out. So, as a little extra today, perhaps something Jesus said will help. Jesus said, "Do to others whatever you would like them to do to you." So listen, on both sides of this, if you're doing something to someone that you wouldn't want them to do to you, stop doing that. The Good News Translation says it this way: do for others what you want them to do for you. Both are valid translations on both sides. Listen, if you're not doing something for someone else, but if you were in their shoes, you sure as the world would like to think someone would do it for you, well, start doing that. Some call that the golden rule. It sure seems like that would make it easier to get through the tough conversations if we all treated each other that way. And here's the thing, if we want to know the way forward here in our country, may I suggest this weekend is a good place to stop and look back at how we determined the direction our country would take from the beginning, from our very start, by celebrating and being reminded we might get on a good path. So to do that, I want to call to mind the words in Psalm 33. Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord, the people He chose for His inheritance. From heaven the Lord looks down and sees all mankind. From His dwelling place He watches all who live on earth. He who forms the hearts of all who considers everything they do. No king is saved by the size of his army. No warrior escapes by his great strength. A horse is a vain hope for deliverance. Despite all its great strength, it cannot save. But the eyes of the Lord, verse 18, but the eyes of the Lord are on those who fear Him, on those whose hope is in His unfailing love. Listen, written to the nation of Israel, for sure. But I read that today because people try to deny the roots of our country that it has in Christianity. But it's all over our history. Listen, do you know what the tallest structure in Washington, D.C. is? It's the Washington Monument. And by law, nothing taller than the Washington Monument can be built there. Do you know what's inscribed at the pinnacle of the Washington Monument? 2 Latin words, Laus Deo. Now, no one can see those words. In fact, most visitors to the monument are totally unaware that they're even there. And when the words were put at the top of the monument, there was actually no way for anyone to see them outside of maybe a hot air balloon. They're 555 feet in the air, inscribed on the aluminum cap on the east side of the monument, facing the rising sun, overlooking the 69 square miles which comprise the District of Columbia, which is arguably the most powerful city and the most successful nation in the world. By the way, those 2 Latin words which tower over our nation's capital, Laus Deo, mean praise be to God. George Washington said, "It is impossible to righteously govern the world without God and the Bible." That's our heritage. We don't always get it right, but that's our heritage. And when we need to be reminded of how to find our way, and from time to time our country does, we need to be reminded of our heritage. Here's the other reminder on how to celebrate our freedom this weekend and to find our way. Keep our hope in God. It's that verse 18 again. But the eyes of the Lord are on those who fear Him, on those whose hope is in His unfailing love. You know, as much as I love our country and the freedom we enjoy, my hope isn't in our country or the freedom we enjoy. My hope is in Jesus, because His favor doesn't depend on what country in which you live. It depends on in whom you put your trust. So may I just say this weekend, in celebration, honor our country, follow Jesus. Treat each other the way you would like to be treated. Happy Independence Day weekend.